Welcome back. Thank you for all the comments last week, by the way. I was overwhelmed. But I ended up that last episode losing patience at Tom, while it is another made-up person nonsensically booking matches on Raw. This actually might be an interesting one. Maybe the most interesting one yet. It's an MMA-style match against Nakamura, and I'll show you what that means here. I think it would have been cool if it changed your moveset as well to a more MMA style, the MMA type moves in the game. But I understand that might be a lot to do for just one of the billion meaningless matches in this mode. So I just submit him with the lock. The lock! Which I'm sure you've seen occur countless times in the Octagon.
Listen.
This one is actually kind of funny. Raw's too long, and sometimes you just gotta fill it with shit, which General Manager Adam Pearce readily admits. And that gives us the chance to look at some entrances. We got Ciampa, who's got a deplorable outfit, but we can change that. His entrance is good, so I'll be using him in Universe in one of the lower weight classes. I might give him a slightly stereotypical Italian character, I'm not above it. Cedric Alexander has the same entrance I'm pretty sure that's the exact same entrance as last year. And in last year's Universe mode, I gave him a mini push, but ultimately I didn't know what to do with him, and that is still the case now. Now, Dominic Mysterio, he can stay Ray's son, but I'm really going to ride the nepotism with his character. Like, Ray's a living legend, he got his son a job, while the son does have talent. He's complacent and entitled. So people love Ray and they understand he wants the best for his son, as any father would. But they hate this snot-nosed kid that doesn't recognize that he doesn't deserve what he has, and he acts like he deserves better. And I think that'll make for a fun face-heel dynamic in a tag team, with Dom taking the falls, and all the while Ray could be winning singles championships, but he's putting that aside to mentor his dickhead son. Well, back to the lock, and embarrassment. I was going to give Ciampa the respect of a 2 count here, but the pin slider didn't allow it, so the lock loses. And now for an actual storyline, albeit a bad one. I don't think this game really alternates away from bad storylines so far, but beggars can't be choosers. New Day gives Evolution a gift package, and apparently those sausages were spoiled because Evolution took great offense and decided to attack them with no crowd present, so it wasn't for attention. It was all about the sausages. Randy wasn't happy about this attack. He blames The Lock despite goofball Gabe still being involved. The Lock blames New Day for threatening him with a gift basket. Randy does actually insult Gabe quickly, so that's pretty funny. And satisfying. All of this leads to 3 single matches between the factions. New Day needs 2 wins out of the 3 to get a shot at the tag titles. Well, Lock makes easy work of Xavier. Gabe loses to Big E, which is to be expected. But hilariously, Randy loses to Kofi, and the New Day get their shot. Randy's still mad about all of this, as if they could have just gone on forever not defending the titles, and somehow it's the Lock's fault that they have title contenders. But the match turns into a 3-on-3 for the tag titles. So with the help of his teammates, Lock does what Randy couldn't do and pins Kofi. Cue the generic chummy Evolution celebration. Now the Hurt Business are coming for the IC title. Lock tells MVP to get in line, but apparently that won't work. So just as a fuck you, I deny him again. Eventually, though, we got to take the match, because everyone in this locker room is a booker. And we have to face Carmelo Hayes before MVP unleashes Omos. Randy wants Gabe to back Lock up in the match against Hayes. Makes sense. Let's have a look at Carmelo's entrance. Looks like a star. somewhat unique entrance, even if it's really just based around the fact that he's got disposable sunglasses, but I think we'll still find a place for him in Universe. Notwithstanding that, I beat him pretty easily, and there was no trouble at ringside. MVP says he used this match to scout the Lock, and Omos is next to take his title. Randy wants Gabe to back him up, but Lock has a hissy fit, tells Evolution to stay in the back. This could not possibly backfire. Omos comes out with MVP and Hayes. Looks great, plays the monster well. Not sure how exactly I'd use him in Universe. I could mold him into a Francis Ngannou, perhaps, I don't know. I'm sure I'll find a place for him. But the Lock wears Ngannou down as the instructions tell us to do, and does as he is asked by moving to the top rope. The ref takes a bump, MVP interferes, and the Lock loses.
Well, it looks like the Hurt Business are the ones who are going to capitalize.
Chokeslam down to the mat.
Omos with a pin attempt.
The referee's coming too.
1, 2, 3.
He did it.
We have a new giant intercontinental champion.
Ultimately, the combined effort of the Hurt Business is too much for the Lock to handle, which makes you wonder, where was Evolution?
Lock is beside himself. He wants to know why Evolution did what he told them to do and stayed in the back.
By who? Me.
So apparently it was Gabe, the one to make the call, and he's got a lot of things to say to Lock. Can't say I disagree with half of this. He's even actually got a decent line as far as WWE scripting goes, calling the Lock the weak link. And the Lock pouts and quits. It's interview time again. This cocky moron proclaims it was all part of the plan to dramatically spiral downward, but he's not done spiraling yet. It's shooting time, cowboy.
Champion, the Lock, has requested this time to address the WWE Universe.
He certainly has a lot to address.
This is basically the Dustin Runnels promo when he came out as 7 in WCW, when he was like, they had all those vignettes of him creeping on kids like a weird gothic pedophile. And except he's dressed boring, the Lock, rather than, weird, scary get up.
As the next big thing, a future world champion. And of course, the Lock. It worked for a while, but let's be honest, it felt forced from day one. I never was truly comfortable with what I was asked to do. And when it comes down to it, these recent setbacks were just a result of those early decisions that were out of my hands and way above my pay grade. What I'm saying is, I was set up to fail by WWE management. And especially VP of Talent Development, Shawn Michaels. Let me shoot with you. Shawn was behind all of this from the start, forcing one bad decision after another. So, HBK, I want you to come out here right now so we can talk. Man to man, face to face.
And then the Lock calls out cowboy turned corporate Michaels and blames him for all his failures. HBK lays some truth on the kid, tells him he had to beg veterans to take them under their wing. Oh, how embarrassing. So, look here. But you said they wanted me. The Lock is pissed, and this is actually a decent angle because the Lock lets his frustration get the better of him in a realistic way. HBK kind of shoves him off. He shoves HBK. The old man has no balance and takes a nasty bump on the steps, which Lock immediately realizes he's fucked up. Corey Graves is devastated by this, by the way.
Shawn just took a very awkward fall there and hit the steel steps hard on his way down.
Just listen to the pain in his voice. So Lock seems to realize for the first time that he actually fucked up. And he was right. he gets fired on the spot. And that's it for this one. Next week, I go into overdrive, sabotaging this dickhead. And that's about as far as I've got in this mode so far. So if you've got any ideas on how to further fuck with the lock, please let me know in the comments and I will put them to use in the video that follows the next one. But until then, thank you for watching. Have a good one.